Hey, let's go ahead and get started with a reading for you guys. I'm not going to lie, I am a little nervous about this reading because I can tell you right now that the universe is in full control and you have to be in full surrender. You're going to have to trust. 10 cards out and 7 of them are major arcanas. 7, okay? But the last major arcana that comes out is the Chariot, which means victory. It means success. It means like all the good that you have done is going to come back tenfold. So for those of you who had to release people, places, and things, you know it was time. This has already happened. This is not something brand new. We have the release card. It's the number 13, which is the death card. What are we in today as I'm doing this reading? The Scorpio full moon. It says, let go of the past, an ending that makes way for new opportunities. Time to move on. So I can see for a lot of you, you have done just that with the dreamer here. You're off on this new journey of self-discovery, embracing your true purpose, beginning a new adventure, and trusting yourself, okay? So after you have released all of the things that no longer serve a purpose, you run into the awakening card, which is the Hanged Man. Okay? So this is about changing the way that you're looking at a situation, changing the way that you're looking at all the things that you feel had failed you in the past. Listen, the universe didn't get it wrong. Okay? Even if you have felt like you were left out in the cold with this 5 of autumn, 5 of pentacles, you aren't being left in the dust for no reason. And you're not leaving these things in the dust for no reason. It's all for a higher purpose. When I look at all these major arcanas, let me just read these to you. You got the release, which is the death card. You got the awakening, which is the Hierophant. The Hanged Man. You've got the Star here, which is all about hopes, wishes, and dreams coming true. You have the Dreamer, okay, which is the Fool. You have the World card. You have the Hermit. And you have the Chariot, which is all about victory and success. So I love the fact that the Chariot is here because it talks about success that comes from dedication and self-discipline, celebrating your accomplishments, and being in the spotlight, okay? And I do see that here with the Star. I feel like for some of you, you're going to get the accolades that you deserve. You know, maybe you walked away from a job in the past that no longer served you. You know, it was toxic. Queen of Spring, brilliant, loyal, talented, and friendly. Believe in yourself. Wonderful people want to help you. Maintain a balance between work and home life. So I feel you could be this Queen of Wands because I do feel whoever you are the Queen of Wands. Not could be. You are the Queen of Wands in this reading. Guy or girl does not matter. Male, female, it doesn't matter, okay? But it is showing up as the feminine, which the feminine is much more receptive to what is going on, and she is literally based in her intuition. The masculine energy is usually based in reality and the earthly pleasures, like, you know, the touch, see, feel, taste, you know, show me the Carfax. Whereas the feminine energy is much more receptive to the cues from the universe. And in this reading, with having the Hanged Man and the Hermit with the Star, this tells me with all these major arcanas that this is a very intuitive time. So this Queen of Wands, she's been looking out at her future, okay? And she has this stamina about her that no matter what has tried to bring her down, she continues to persevere. And that's what the Queen of Wands is all about. She is willing to take the action that other people just are too afraid to take. She's willing to do the hard things that other people aren't willing to do. She can successfully manage challenges, and she's very passionate about her movements forward and what she's doing and what she's trying to accomplish. And you can see her determination as she's looking out. Now, she has that almost like a light bulb, right? And I'm seeing this, like these swans. I'm seeing birds. So she could be very well, you could be connected to birds, getting messages from the birds as well. Okay. Now, when I look at this, she knows what she needed to let go of. And it could have been a very painful situation. You know, anytime that we have to release something, it always comes with a price. And sometimes that price is the pain that we feel in letting people, places, and things go that we invested so much of our time and energy and effort into. But she needed to see things from a different perspective. And she needed to understand that maybe some of these things were actually what was holding her back from truly being seen for the person that she is, or being in the spotlight. You know, sometimes we're in relationships even, or at our job. I remember, you know, back in the day, I was working this job and I would walk in and I was a fucking star and I was a bartender, you know. You think, oh, piddly little bartender. Abso-fucking-lutely not. I was VIP. I was a star. I was a celebrity. I mean, I could walk into a place and people were just enthralled that I was there. Like, oh my God, Peace is here. And so I remember working for this one place, and I would walk in and people would give me, woo, Peace is here, like, yay, and they'd clap. And the owner would get so fucking pissed. And I'm thinking, man, like, I'm paying your bills. You're making all the money, and I'm making this much an hour and my tips. And you're pissed? Like, you need to really think about this shit, lady. Like, I'm representing your establishment. You should be so grateful that I'm even here. That should be a blessing. But instead, she would spend the rest of my shift fucking with me and abusing me and beating me down instead of being like, man, I'm so grateful that she works here and that everybody's here spending money here, paying my bills, and I'm making a shit ton of money off of her. You'd think. But no, her ego got in the way. So I was that star in that industry. And now I'm a star in my own industry. I'm still a star, just in a different way. And I feel like that's the same thing for you. Maybe somebody's been holding you back. If that's a romantic partnership, if that is your family holding you back because they don't want you to grow, because they're afraid that if you grow, you're going to grow past them. It could be the same thing as a job. They want to hold you back. They don't want you to shine. They're afraid of you to shine your light. They're afraid of you being successful. They're afraid of you actually seeing the potential that you have. So after you go through and you start healing from these, whatever it is that you had to let go of, and I feel like it's going to be different for everyone. This is where you're able to go on this journey. And we have the dreamer here. Embrace your true purpose, begin a new adventure, and trust yourself. Trust yourself, not other people. Other people will go out of their way to hold you back. Why? Because they're afraid of you bypassing them. They're afraid that you'll get so big that you'll forget them. So what are they going to do? They're going to hold you back. The center of the reading, we have the World card, which is, and it's funny that it sits right underneath the Awakening. The Awakening is the number 12, and the World card is the number 21. So now we have this mirror reflection. And do you see how different they are? This one's hanging upside down, having to sacrifice, having to let go, having to look at things from a different perspective before he can move forward on this journey, before he can become the dreamer. Before he can travel the world, he needs to look at the seeds that are being planted. And what is it that you want to do next? So funny that we've got the dreamer to the world, which is the 0 to the 21. So it's like you're finishing out old cycles and you're doing it very quickly. Now, you're being asked again with the Hermit here, because just like the Awakening, funny enough, the Awakening is Pisces and the Hermit is Virgo, and they are opposites to one another, okay? Now, but they're both almost alike. Pisces is very spiritual. Virgo is very practical, very realistic. So spiritually, you did have to ascend out of certain situations. And you need, Pisces can be undoing, yourself undoing. And it's letting go through the art of spirituality. Now, the Hermit is here looking at things, and it says, find or be a mentor, take a break from society, a commitment to your spiritual growth. So I feel like whoever this is, this Queen of Wands, Queen of Spring in this deck, I feel like there's still a temporary pause. Like things aren't moving forward just yet. I feel like what's happening is you're having to clean and clear everything, okay? You hear the rooster back here? It's like, it's time, okay? Wake up, it's time. And I apologize for the jiggling in the computer, you guys. I will figure this out eventually, all right? But with that said, I feel, though, like it's time for you to recognize what your true purpose is. And I feel like that is what the time off with the Mercury retrograde and Mars still being in Pisces and Saturn being in Pisces, it's really asking us to slow down, take stock of where we've been, look at where we are, and then start making plans for where we would like to go. But simultaneously, we have to wrap up and finish out everything from the past before we can start moving forward in our future. Now, the world talks about a brilliant success, the freedom to go in any direction, a journey that is now complete. So where one door closes, another door now opens. And that is what we are being aligned with, these new doors. But the Hermit says, hold on, don't make any sudden moves. There's still some things that you haven't seen yet. And I feel after Mercury goes direct in Aries, you're going to see the universe lay out some of the things that you didn't even know possible. So that's why we're in this limbo period and you're not really seeing things getting going. For some of you, you need to release some things. Maybe you need to sell off some of your shit so that you have like an empty, you're not carrying a bunch of baggage with you. Notice that she's going on this journey, but you don't see a bunch of luggage. You don't see a bunch of people or anything with her. You just see her with this tiny little pack. See, she's got this tiny little pack that she's taking with her. She's got in her hand. Small little bag. She's got her bird. So maybe for some of you, you might have a service animal or something like that. Or if you don't, cardinals can also be our crossed over loved ones who are guiding us. Again, pay attention to the birds because I feel like the birds are speaking to you on this journey. Now, as we get to the future, we have the 5 of Autumn, but it showed up in the reverse, but I'm going to read it in the upright. Reach out to others for assistance, poor timing for a career change, feeling challenged by money issues. I feel like for some of you, maybe you have had some type of money issues in the past. You're coming out of that. There's going to be success. I feel like for some of you, you're looking at new possibilities when it comes to your career choices. You're looking at, I just heard somebody's going to be rolling out the red carpet for you. So maybe you do have that celebrity status. I just heard from Spirit, you're going to be stepping into rooms you never thought possible with people that you never thought in a million years that you would have ever come into contact with. And this is such a blessing. I see journeys for a lot of you. I am seeing travel. I'm seeing movement. I'm seeing moving for work. I'm seeing just traveling in general. Success that comes from dedication and self-discipline, celebrating your accomplishments, and being in the spotlight. You are a star, regardless of the people in the past that couldn't see your value. We have that Jupiter-Uranus energy still in Taurus, which talks about our value. And for some of you, you could be traveling back towards the past. Maybe there are people that you had to leave behind. Maybe there's people that released you in the past. And this says, children or childhood, the return of people or romances from your past. Remembering events differently in a better or worse light than how they really occurred. I do feel for some of you, you have been estranged. I've been picking that up in my readings. You are estranged from people from the past. I do feel as these, as these cycles come to a close, there are people that will be returning back into our lives after a time of healing, after a time of you going out and doing the things that you needed to do. That's self-exploration. A lot of the time we go through these experiences and we lock ourselves away and we sit around and we wait to see if somebody's going to knock at the door or if they're ever going to call again. That's a waste of time. What it's asking you to do is go on a new journey. Go out and learn something. It's like we plateau in our relationships. We plateau as parents even. When it comes to our children, it's like we've adopted this eat, sleep, poop, routine. And like, what have we learned throughout the day that we can teach our children? And so sometimes even us as parents have to separate from our kids so that we can go out and learn something so that when we come back together, we have something else to teach them. And yes, it feels like a punishment. I remember, my ex-husband coming in and kidnapping my oldest daughter. And when she was 8 years old, and I was fucking devastated. And of course, as a parent, and I fought tooth and nail, but it was part of her karma, and so did mine. So it was also mine. One of the worst things I'd ever experienced. But I went out and I learned so much about spirituality and the art of letting go and understanding our charts and understanding karma and past life karma that I was like, oh my God, like this all makes fucking sense as to why I had to go through this experience in this lifetime. Does it make it any fucking easier? Absolutely not. And how do you explain to a child now that she's in her, 20s what that was all about? But that's all I can do is learn the ways of the universe so I can have a better understanding so that when she's in a position of being able to hear it, I can actually explain to her in ways that she'll understand. But at the time, it was one of the worst feelings in the world. And I empathize with all of you parents who have had this, experience with your family. Maybe not to the extreme that my family has had to go through because we went through some toxic ass shit. And still continue. The cycle never seems to end. So I do feel like, maybe it's time for you to reach out, schedule a reading, It's one thing to get these free readings on YouTube, but it's another thing to actually sit down and talk to somebody about what you're experiencing and get a different perspective, because that's what the awakening card, the Hanged Man, is all about, is looking at things from a different perspective. Maybe you're looking at life through the lens of a victim. Oh, I'm a victim of my circumstances. Oh, poor me. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Oh, everybody always has everything better than me, and I always go through bullshit. Bullshit. Quit it with the negative self-talk. Because the Queen of Wands, she's not that person. Maybe in her reversed energy, but she didn't show up reversed in this energy. You know what showed up in reverse? is that Five of Pentacles. And I'm going to be honest with you, of all reversals, this is the card I want in reverse. And you know what's funny, as anybody who's been following me for a really long time knows, I always start out with an upright deck. So if a card comes out in the reverse, that's the way it's supposed to be. So I feel like, you know, this is a very spiritual reading. And I feel like you just need to be loyal to your path. You need to be loyal to your value. You need to be loyal to what you will and will not put up with in relationships. And you need to be willing to sacrifice anything that doesn't see that within you. I do feel like for a lot of you, you are going to be traveling. You will be traveling back to a place that you maybe traveled away from. With the world in the center of the reading and the chariot underneath it, I could see for some of you even leaving the country. You could even be just going back to a place that you vacationed with your family once, right? And then you decide, you know what? Actually, I kind of want to live here. But I see this Queen of Wands as somebody who is very determined. Very determined. She believes in herself. She has, she knows her value. She knows her worth. And she is not going to accept anything less than. And when she gets a wild hair up her ass, she goes after it. And that's what I see with you. I'm going to leave that here, you guys. I love this reading. Very, very powerful. I don't even feel like I was able to give it the emphasis that it needs for you guys to truly step into this energy. You are going through a major metamorphosis and a major, major, major glow up. I want to say glow up in your life. And you're going to start getting the accolades that you deserve because of the hard work that you have put in. I love you guys all so much. I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your patience. And thank you for your support. Thank you for your donations. And just thank you. I love you guys all so very much. And I will chat with you again soon. Take care.